Welcome to The Kickback. Make yourselves at home as we discuss some of the latest stories across the world. I'm your host, Jensen.
And I'm your other host, Lily. Today, Ben, Tom and Callum go head-to-head in a football competition. The latest updates from the Activision Blizzard lawsuit.
And an exclusive interview and performance from our very own music department in Fareham College. All that and more coming right up.
But first, the future of cinema is looking uncertain as the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic have given rise to a large variety of streaming services, such as Netflix and Hulu, as well as newcomers such as HBO Max and Disney+. But is streaming the way to go? To answer that question, we have Caitlin and Greg, two film and TV experts who will give their thoughts on whether streaming is the future. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in. So, in your own personal opinions, do you truly believe that streaming content online is the future for film and TV? Or do you still think physical media, like DVDs for instance, or theatre, still have a place in the modern world?
I feel like streaming services are a more cheaper way of watching television online, but I do feel like theatres can still have a chance in our modern society.
I certainly would say that I think they can coexist. I think there certainly should be a bit more of an emphasis on cinema and trips to cinema. I think it's something that, you know, that whole industry was built around that thrill of going and seeing something on the big screen. And I do certainly think that there should be a future for that within our industry and a tradition that we should look to uphold.
Now, I'd like to bring both your attention to a survey conducted in mid-2020 by Statistica, which revealed that only 14% of respondents preferred visiting a theatre for a new film premieres, whereas 36% of them preferred using streaming services. Does this statistic worry you at all in terms of the future of cinema, or do you think it's nothing to worry about?
I personally wouldn't worry about it, as it's a way to show that people are staying safe by staying at home, but since this was 2020, the year of the staying at home pandemic. It's showing that everyone's following the government guidelines.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about at this point. I think, like Hayes said, the time that the survey was done probably played a big effect on it. I'd like to see that survey done maybe in a couple of years' time, when things are a bit more back to normal. I think whilst it's quite handy, you can watch the new box office release from your living room, I don't think you quite get the full picture if you're doing that.
Right, so do you see a point in live television when streaming service can provide hours of content available to watch at all times anywhere?
I mean, we're sat in a live TV studio right now, so I'm a bit scared to slag it off, but I do think there's some things that streaming services and things like Twitch, YouTube can't give you, and that's that, big scale events that live TV is able to capture, as well as that kind of idea of anything can happen with live TV. I think with streaming and YouTube, you kind of expect anything can happen. It seems that even maybe a bit safer, but live TV, anything can happen, and that's a thrill that you can't replicate in streaming. I'm not sure if you agree, Caitlin.
I personally don't agree. Though we're in a live TV studio, there's an interactive quality that Twitch and YouTube bring, and like donating to independent creators compared to just watching, strictly on the screen. It's not really fun.
I quite like Strictly.
All right, well, I do believe that is all the time we have. Thank you both so much for coming onto the show today and giving us a bit more insight into the current state of streaming services. We really do appreciate it.
No problem, thank you very much.
So, now with the ever-changing seasons, it's time to put a spring, pun intended, in your step with these stylish fashion tips and tricks. Our fashion correspondents have more.
For our first outfit, we decided to go for a 2000s streetwear look. Streetwear has become extremely popular in recent months, with low-waisted trousers and crop shirts becoming a big thing. With this outfit, we decided to go for large, oversized jeans, a plain top, and chunky shoes. Having a less patterned outfit leaves room to add accessories like the layered necklaces and belly chain we added to this outfit. A popular method of adjusting trousers using a shoelace. We have tied the back of the jeans with a shoelace through a belt loops in the back. This is an easy and effective way of adjusting large clothing that does not require any sewing. By matching the shoes with the necklace, we have created a bold accent colour of red that helps bring the other colours out more. The overshirt adds to the 2000s look, taking inspiration from the 2000 Britney Spears era. We added chunky shoes to go with the oversized trousers to keep the big, oversized look consistent.
For our second outfit, we decided to go for a model off-duty look. We kept the outfit slick with the overall colour being black. We layered an oversized leather jacket over a black skirt and top to keep it business casual. Model off-duty has become popular with people taking inspiration from the likes of Kendall Jenner and Bella Hadid. The leather on the boots matches the leather in the bag, as well as the necklace matching the chain on the bag. The accessories for this look we kept simple, as the overall look aims for simplicity. We kept the makeup simple for all three looks, as we felt that is what best matched the looks. We kept the hair straight and shiny to avoid taking away from the outfit itself. Overall, this look is clean and powerful, which is what we aim for.
For my outfit, we wanted to go for an ethereal soft look. We kept all the colours light and pretty and aimed for simplicity in a soft form. We paired a yellow-white corset with white trousers and a cardigan. The white trousers and cardigan matched the detailing in the corset. We added Vivienne Westwood earrings and a necklace to add an expensive feel. The white pearls around my neck are an earring we reinvented as a choker. The overall aim for this look was to explore hyper-femininity. We again tied a shoelace around the trousers belt loops to readjust the size around the waist. I tied my hair up for this one to keep it looking clean and out of my face, and paired it with natural makeup.
Thank you for all those wonderful tips. Moving on, we have with us in the studio currently a guest from the games development course at Fairham College, Jeroy and Ethan, here to discuss an up-and-coming console exclusive, as well as to discuss the recent lawsuits against the development company Activision Blizzard.
Creator of such franchises as World of Warcraft, Overwatch and others.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
So Nintendo have a new Zelda game releasing later this year, which will be a direct sequel to the 2017 Switch and Wii U exclusive, Breath of the Wild. And we would like to ask you your opinions on the series as a whole and what you'd like to see in the follow-up.
Breath of the Wild was such a massive game. It was an open world game with lots of areas to explore, but a lot of these areas were barren and there was less to explore in certain areas. I'd like them to fill in the empty spaces that they had in that game and more dense areas and more to explore in smaller spaces.
Yeah, like Ethan said, Breath of the Wild was a huge step for the game community and definitely brought a lot of people into the Zelda franchise, and people definitely look back on it as a game that is kind of really peak gaming. So for this new kind of entry into the franchise, I hope they can expand on the world and make it more filled, make it more lively, like Ethan said.
So, now for our viewers out there who aren't fully aware of this, the development company Activision Blizzard is under heavy fire after being hit with a lawsuit that claims the company allowed and even at times encouraged sexual misconduct against female employees. And its current CEO, Bobby Kotick, knew about this for years and yet still allowed it to continue. While we unfortunately don't have quite enough time to delve into this developing story, I'd love to hear from you both. What's your stance on this situation?
Well, as someone who's part of the community, hearing this all come out was quite disheartening. The Activision and other companies like EA, they do have a reputation as being not really the best companies in the actual game space. But at the end of the day, people still believe in them because they all make good games. But now just hearing how women were treated and all the incidents, as is one on the camping site, which I don't really think I can say, it's kind of a big hit, and they've definitely gotten rid of a lot of people's trust on the franchise as a whole. So it's definitely going to be quite tough to bring people back.
Oh yeah, I reckon it did a big damage on their whole company as a whole. There was a whole trend of boycott Blizzard, where people just would refuse to play their games, refuse to purchase, refuse to give them any more money before they made a stance against this. And I hope that the Microsoft situation should fix this in some way, and hopefully they can put a stop to some of the stuff they've done.
Well, alright, that is sadly all the time we've got. I'd like to thank you both once again for for taking the time to speak with us today, and thank you for giving your thoughts on these developments in the gaming world.
Moving on now, and our very own Ben, Tom and Callum have a wonderfully fantastic football challenge for all you sports lovers out there. Riley Taylor has more.
Welcome to the Kickbacks Crossbar Challenge. Today I have 3 contestants with me who will go against a knockout scenario in the Crossbar Challenge. The person who misses the crossbar will lose, and the winner will get a prize of their choice. Now, let's see today. And sadly he misses elimination process. Now it's a fight between Tom and Callum. Far overshoot. Bit too much there, bit too much there. Okay. And he skips it. That is a count. Now, if Callum loses this, it's over for him. And sadly, congratulations to our winner Tom today. He's won a prize of his choice. Now, how did it feel?
Oh, that's great. I mean, the other 2 did very well. Callum came very close. He got it on the second try, but yeah, I managed to take it.
You could feel the tension in the room between you two. It was a really, really close game, and I congratulate you for winning the knockout scenario. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And that's all we have time for, sadly, but I'll see you once again very soon.
Action.
Welcome back to the studio. We have with us in the studio the band The Addiction, straight from Fareham College's very own music department. Their names are Harry and Lani. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
So what kind of music does your band focus on? Is there any particular genre that you tend to focus on, or is the music you produce a mixture of different genres and themes?
So we tend to focus on the genres of pop rock, and at the moment we're working on a set list with that genre as well.
Sort of music from the last 20 years that's charted and people will know.
So is there a message you're trying to spread through the music you produce as a group, or is it simply just for fun and entertainment?
I think we want to try and curate a show and a set list that when people come to see our gig, they'd come and it would be an emotional release, and it's just a lot of fun and they don't have to think about what's happened in the day or in the week.
How did you all get into producing music, and how has that affected any future goals you may or may not have had?
So I've just been into music since I was a really young age, so it's been something I really enjoy, and it's just something I go to when I'm feeling sad or
Yeah.
feeling great.
Listening to music and creating music as well is like a really good therapy tool. So
Yeah.
whenever you're feeling down or happy, it's just like something that you can go to sort of express that.
So have you performed publicly or at any venues?
Yes, recently we did a performance at the 1865 in Southampton, which we did for Christmas, and we performed 70s rock songs.
So, do either of you have a performer that inspires you and why?
For me, it's mostly guitar-based music, Jimi Hendrix, and like jazz, like Miles Davis, the stuff with really complex melodies that I can get my hands around on the guitar.
I get inspired by big singers like Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson. I also like Amy Winehouse and her soulful tone. It inspires me a lot.
Now for the event you have all been waiting for. The Addiction have prepared a special performance for the show. Let's take a look.
Well, that was fantastic. That was absolutely amazing.
I loved it, yeah.
Big thank you to the guests that joined us and to the band that put that together for us.
And a very big thank you to you, our dear viewers, for watching the show today. We hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.